Okay, we are recording. Okay, a couple like administrative things, I suppose. And I want to see who's all here. Hi, ladies. Welcome. Okay, Team Cup. If you are not registered or on a team yet, you have until the 31st to get signed up. I know that I think a lot of you are already on a team, but if you're not, just reach out and we'll get you hooked up with somebody. Such a great way to just partner together and have fun and earn some really cool prizes, and help a lot of people too. So that, and then I think we've had conversations in our team page about the increase in price so I think all of you maybe have seen that BOD is increasing in price in February. All your previous customers are grandfathered into the old price. Unless they cancel, then it starts over again. So if they cancel their membership and then they sign back up in February, it's going to be the increased price for them. So if you have questions, just reach out. Feel free to put it in the chat box. We can talk about it. But and all awesome news about Heidi. I got a picture from them all in their car. She looks so amazing. Her family is so thrilled. They're so excited that they get to take her somewhere and be like, they couldn't be with her all weekend. Her daughters didn't even get to see her because they could only let one person into the hospital. So such a blessing that they could get her transferred to a place where they can all be with her. And I think they said you can have 2 people in the room, the rehab room with her, like 8 to 5 every day that she's there. And I guarantee that she will not be there very long because she's not going to need a ton of like inpatient rehab. There is some like slowness, I think, in her speech, like just taking things in, I think it's going to take her a while. So there's going to be some rehab, obviously, but a lot of it I think can be done at home. So that'll be really, really good. So she can recover at home. I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, I think I can't even imagine like her daughters not being able to like hug her or like touch her, or like they got to FaceTime for like 2 minutes a day to even like see her. And so this will be so good. I think that's it, unless anyone else has anything.
How much flowers did she have in the car? Was it pretty jam-packed?
Oh, I didn't even see. I'm not sure. I wonder how many she actually had. Crystal kind of went crazy. I love it. I love it though. It was awesome. All right. Let's talk about creating an intentional mindset. So this is from this book that I just bought by John Maxwell. I think it's newer. It's called The Power of 5 for Network Marketing. And essentially, because I've read a lot of his books, so I know this, it's essentially a lot of his stuff from his other books just jammed into one and organized a little differently for network marketing. But it's really good. So we're going to talk about the chapter on mindset. And if we don't have enough time to talk about like how to make $300 next month, I'll do a live in our team page to talk about that. But it's pretty simple. I'll just leave that, say that. Okay, so he had some really good quotes. Basically, he's a psychologist from Harvard. This is a quote from him, and he said that the greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitudes of mind. So and I've heard it said that this business is probably like 99% mindset. If you can get your mind right and your belief in yourself and what you can do, the rest, like anything is possible. You change your life when you change how you think. Your potential is determined by your mindset and how strong it is and how intentional you're being with it. So in his book, he gives 2 examples. So an average people versus successful people. And I'm not going to read through all of them. You guys can see the differences, but I mean, I don't know about you, but I want to be a successful person. I don't want to live my life on average and allow life to happen to me. I want to proactively plan my life. I want to reflect and learn daily and not like, I want to learn from my mistakes. And we do that when we master our mindset and when we're intentional about what we're thinking about and how we're approaching things. And I can share those with you guys too if you want. But basically, the right mindset creates a foundation for your life. It increases your potential and is, when you have the right mindset, it's intentional. Are you being intentional with your thinking? If you want to live an intentional life, you have to first cultivate more intentional, more, that doesn't make any sense. My notes. It's like, are you being intentional with your thinking? Then you have to cultivate more intentional thinking. Duh. I put notes in there wrong. But you can't have one without the other. So being intentional with your thinking basically means that you're being deliberate, you're being consistent, and you're being willful. Unintentional thinking is basically being passive, inconsistent, and disappointing. Most people will just accept their life instead of living it. They have good intentions, but never take the time to prepare. So they're simply reacting to life and what's thrown at them. And that's how I used to live life before coaching. I would just take whatever was thrown my way and, I'd deal with it, but I never set goals. I never, and so this was something totally new for me to realize that I can take control of my thoughts and take control of my life. So, sorry, my notes keep shutting. All right, so how do we develop an intentional mindset? I'll read through these and then I have like more things in my notes to talk about each one, but choose to be realistic. And all of these, it's a choice. We get to choose every single day. So choose to be realistic. Ask yourself questions daily, assess yourself, and be honest. Where are you? Where do you want to be? What changes do you need to make? Many people forget that when you start a business, there's one essential requirement: hard work. It doesn't happen overnight. So expect challenges. I think we look at like the top coaches and coaches who have been successful and we think, well, that was easy for them, man. But we don't see the work that goes on behind the scenes. We don't see the late nights and the early mornings and all the things that they had to overcome in order to get to where they are. So remember, like, be realistic about your goals. Choose to be realistic with your thinking. And then this chart, he had in there the differences between like people who fantasize about reaching a goal and actually like dream builders, people who are actually doing the work and making it happen. So people who fantasize about hitting a goal or being successful, they rely on luck versus discipline. They focus on the destination that they want to get to instead of focusing on the journey and growing into the person that they need to be in order to get to that destination. They cultivate unhealthy expectations versus cultivating a healthy discontent, which I thought was interesting. Having a healthy discontent with your life, knowing that you were made for more and want to do more and grow and help more and serve more. People who fantasize about success minimize the value of work. Dream builders maximize the work that they do. I would rather lead to action. I'd rather take action versus look for excuses. I would rather generate momentum in my life by being consistent than creating inertia. I spelled that wrong, sorry. And then you can see the last few. We'll move on to number 2, but some of these lists are like, oh, you can do a brain check and think, well, what do I want to be? Where am I at right now? Am I looking for excuses? Am I looking like complaining and being more negative than I am positive? Like, you can use these lists as just kind of gut checks for yourself. Choose to be coachable is another way to develop an intentional mindset. And essentially, this is a humble desire to grow, to look at repeated failures and fix things. If something is not working in your life, don't just keep doing the same thing. Change something, try something new, ask for help. There's so many ways that you can be coachable and to look at things that maybe aren't working for you and realize that someone has figured out how to do it. Be open to change, be humble with a desire to grow. It's impossible to maximize your potential in any area without doing this. You'll just stay stuck exactly where you are if you're unable to be coachable, and take advice from other people. We can choose to be positive. So I didn't really write down. So this is one section I didn't really like dive into all that much. But we can, obviously it's pretty simple. We can choose to be positive on a daily basis. So his 4 points were: disarm your helplessness, realize that you can pursue solutions, or you can sit back and just say, well, I don't have any control. You can take control what you can control. You are never helpless, you are never stuck. Realize that you are in control of a lot of things. So answer the hard questions. What do I really want? Why do I want this? What will it cost? Am I willing to pay the price? Am I willing to pay the price now? These are the questions you must be willing to answer. Of course, if you answer no to that last question, the previous questions are useless. The third tip under choosing to be positive is enter the no whining zone. Whatever it takes, people who are willing to do whatever it takes know how to handle their feelings. They put their attitude in charge of their emotions instead of the other way around. Don't let your emotions dictate your attitude. We all experience times when we feel bad. Our attitude cannot stop our feelings, but it can keep our feelings from stopping us. Whiners want to feel good before they do something. Winners do something so they can feel good. You can't moan and succeed at the same time. And then the last one, never be complacent. The final attitude characteristic of whatever it takes people is positive discontent. Successful people are never satisfied with what is. They see what could be, and they continually seek to achieve it. This is what drives them to get better, to achieve more, and expand into new territory. The future belongs to people who are dedicated to making their world and other people and themselves better. The next one, so we can choose to be positive on a daily basis by leaning into those 4 things. The fourth way to develop an intentional mindset is to choose to be persistent. And everything worthwhile, he says, is uphill. A successful business takes hard work over a long period of time. And it's going to be ups and downs. That's just how it works. But when you're persistent and consistent, you gain momentum and more confidence. You will never see a persistent person who lacked commitment, and you will never see a committed person who wasn't persistent. He like messes with my brains with some of these, but I'm like, okay, I think I understand that. You will never see a persistent person who didn't have commitment, and you will never see a committed person who wasn't persistent. Those 2 things go hand in hand. Commitment, this quote that he wrote in here, commitment is the key by W.H. Murray. Until I am committed, there is a hesitancy, the chance to draw back. But the moment I definitively commit myself, then God moves also, and a whole stream of events begins to erupt. All manner of unseen incidents, meetings, persons, and material assistance that I could have never dreamed would come my way begin to flow toward me the moment I make a commitment. It's so true. As soon as you put that line in the sand and you say, I'm doing this, I love this, I have a passion for this, I'm not just dipping a toe in, I'm not going to just try it out. As soon as you commit to doing this, things happen. It's so true. Persist through the difficult times, through the seasons of struggle. Anytime you do anything new, you're going to struggle. And if you're not struggling, you're not learning. And there's 3 more points to this one. Persist through failure. One of his books is called Fail Forward. And I'm pretty sure I read that one. I think I have it. But failing is not a failure. Persist through the things that you're struggling with. I think anytime you fail at something, you're just learning. As if you can change your mindset about those failures and think, okay, that didn't work. Maybe I didn't work hard enough. Maybe I didn't focus on the right things. Maybe I didn't dedicate my time the way I needed to. Persist through those failures and learn. Persist through criticism. You're gonna get criticism from people. One way to avoid criticism is to do nothing and be no one. Napoleon Hill said that. You will never make an impact on the world by being just like it. I don't remember who said that. That just came to mind when I was reading through that part. But you will get criticism, you will get negativity, you will get people wondering, so you're still doing that Beachbody thing? I get that 8.5 years later. And they're like, are you happy? Are you, what's going on? Like, are you looking to do something else? I'm like, no, I love what I do. Don't you want to, like, Dan's making enough money now with his business. Like, you both don't need to be working. Like, do you want to retire? Like, take a step back? I'm like, no. Why? Like, to me, those questions, like, could either, they're not criticism, but they're questions. They could take my mind, if I'm not solid in my belief and in why I'm doing this, it could cause me to doubt, or it could cause me to, like, solidify my commitment to this and say, no, I'm in this. Like, I'm never gonna, as of right now, I don't want to say never, but I love this. And I hope that you guys feel the same way too, that you can persist through criticism, through questions. People just don't understand, and that's okay. As long as your belief is solid. And then persist through rejection. We all know that there's rejection in this business, and I've had people that I was friends with for years just completely cut ties with me because I was doing this. And you just have to, I knew that this was something that was going to be a big part of my life. And the relationship obviously was not strong enough to make it through this. Like, I don't know, there was just like, and you will have relationships like that. You will have situations where you're gonna have to make a decision as to where you're gonna stand and what you're gonna do. And people you love, people who you thought had your best interests at heart, will not understand what you're doing. They will make comments. They will make hurtful comments. They will say things. They will do things, like friends that you thought were friends. But as long as you know your purpose and you have that belief, none of that really matters at all. And then the last one fits very well into what I was just talking about. Choose to believe in yourself and your purpose. You get to choose every single day this. Belief in yourself gets you started. Belief in your purpose gives you the reason to keep going. Your behavior and your actions with your business follow your belief, not the other way around. Your consistent action to grow your business and grow yourself only happens when you believe that you can accomplish what you're doing, or that you believe in what you're doing. Your dream is about where you want to go. Your purpose is about why you want to achieve your dream. So when you find your why, you will find your way. That's his quotes. He's very clever. All right, so lastly, let's do a quick exercise. So I want you to rate yourself on your personal belief right now. You don't have to tell us. You can if you want in the chat box, but rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being my belief is crap. I don't think I can do this. 10 being yes, I totally believe that I can do this. And then, so do you see yourself as successful? Do you believe in yourself? And then rate your purpose belief. Why do you want to achieve your dream? And do you think that you can? Like, what is your purpose for being here? And do you believe in that purpose? So rate yourself on those two things really quick. I'll give you like just a couple seconds. And if you want to, put them in the chat box. And then I'll tell you what it means once you do that. So don't skip this part. Everybody rate themselves? Or you need more time? It's a pretty simple one. All right, so he says that if you want to succeed, your personal belief should be at least a 7. And your purpose belief should also be a 7 or higher. So, and here's why. I would love to know in the chat box if you feel comfortable telling us, like, because nobody put it in the chat box. I should have made you. I should have said, do it. Put it in the chat box. Not give you the option. Duh. Was just say yes or no if yours were above a 7, or if one was lower, one was higher, whatever. Cool. 7, 6. Yes. Ashley, perfect. Way to be honest. We'll work on it. Cool. 6, 5, 5, 5. Okay, so this is why he says, if you have a low personal belief in yourself and a low purpose belief, you won't get started with what needs to be done to grow your business. If you have a high personal belief and a low purpose belief, you won't continue. So I think those are the two things that I have seen over the years with coaches that have come and gone. It's those two things. It's the personal belief in themselves that they can accomplish their goals, and also the purpose. Like, why are you here? Why are you doing this? What is the purpose? And then if you have a low personal belief and a high purpose belief, you won't actually realize your dream because you don't believe in yourself enough to keep going, even though you have a high purpose belief. Is this making sense? Yeah, kind of. And then if you have a high in both, you will reach your dream. So he says, I see some more stuff in the chat box. Let me open it up quick. Depends on the day. 7, 7. Cool. Okay. So if your numbers are lower than a 7, think about this is directly from his book. This is what he says to do. He says, think about why. If your personal belief in yourself and in doing this is not above a 7, why? And I would like just do some journaling about it tonight after we're done, if you have time, or maybe right before bed or over the next few days. Just like ponder that question. Like, I don't believe in myself. I don't believe that I can achieve the goals that I want in this business, and this is why. Or if you're low purpose, like if your purpose for doing this isn't higher than a 7, why? Maybe you need to dig deeper into why you're actually here and why you're doing this. So if your numbers are low, think about why they're low. And then review what we talked about, or I can send you screenshots from this chapter so you can see everything that he's talking about. Check out this book. And then he gives these 6 books that you can check out as well. All of them are his, except for The Magic of Thinking Big, which, fun fact, that was my very first personal development book when I became a coach. And it's really good. I can't find it now, but I did read it at one point. So I'm going to stop this share. that kind of like morphed into like that last part. I mean, it all kind of ties together. You're like being intentional with your thinking and intentional with your belief on a daily basis and your purpose. That is what is going to either help you stay consistent with this business and with anything that you do in life, or not, or you'll be a yo-yo or a roller coaster. It is called, I don't know if this is backwards, The Power of Five. I can put a link to it. It was kind of hard to find on his website, and it's not on Amazon, I don't think. And I like had to search for it on his website. So I'll put a link to it in the show notes in the team page. But I would love if anyone wants to share, like, did anything stand out to you? Anything like, do you have a reason why in your head about why your numbers were lower than a 7 that you want to talk about? Or I have a questionnaire that I'm going to send out to coaches on our team too, so that we can set up calls and dig through this stuff. Because number one, like, is, like I said at the beginning, if you want to be consistent with this and be successful at this, it's mastering that mindset of, I can do this. I believe that I was made for this, because you guys all are. We all have impacts and people in our lives that need us, and they need our support. They need what we have. They need something, whether they realize it or not. But I'll shut up. Anyone have anything they want to say or share? This is a safe space. Becky's a psychologist. She can help us too.
I'm so sorry. My dog just threw up on me, and that makes me puke. So, but yes, I am. And normally I can help.
He threw up on you?
Yes. And Spencer's in class right now, and I was about to change my clothes and realized I'm on video. So.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, good luck. We can. Anybody else? Andrea, it's about the journey and not the destination. Yes.
Well, after listening to that Bob Heilig, Love, Serve, Grow, he said you start out some of your conversations or interactions with people with red light stories, which is based on fear, which I think I do a lot, because I will tell myself, oh, they're probably not going to be interested anyways, or, whatever red light story or fear that comes up in your mind. And his green light story is, we should be coming from a place of love, like you were talking about in the training. And that really, like, I didn't realize how much I did that until he had you do that. He has you do a little bit of self-reflection, I guess. And it's like, yes, I am totally that person.
So how did he say to change that, or be more mindful of those stories that you're telling yourself, or what did
just be very mindful of them. And I took like 1,000 pages of notes, but be very mindful of them and start believing in yourself. And he gives you tips on how you because I go, how do you just magically believe in yourself? You know what I mean? It just doesn't magically happen for me anyways. And he gave lots of really good tips. I'll have to go through my notes and make sure.
If you can find it. But I know that's like the magic question for a lot of people is, how do I believe more in myself? And I've pondered that, and I've talked to other people that like are successful, like how they coach other people about it. And really it comes down to like I think just taking action on things and like finishing things. I think like that's one thing, is like showing up, starting something and finishing it. And that builds your confidence in yourself. And the more that you do that builds your belief in yourself. And I think what helped me in the beginning of growing this business was finding a top coach's story who I resonated with, and knowing that if they could do it, I could do it too. And then like my journey has changed and grown over the years, but it was Mindy Wender was her name, and she's still a coach, and like she's one of Janelle Summers' top coaches, and I think I've talked about her story before, but I don't know. So you have to find someone, and it's a lot of personal development too. And I think You Are a Badass, that book helped me a lot. I went through and did like all of the prompts that she has you do and take notes, and like I journaled with the book, and okay, bye Laura. And so just diving deeper into personal development and why you don't believe in yourself. Like, was it something someone said in your childhood? Was it something, I don't know. Becky, do you have any thoughts about how do people build their belief in themselves? Or are you still covered in puke?
Well, I'm not covered in puke, but I'm like trying not to puke. But yeah, I mean, I do think a lot of it is like noticing where your mind is taking you, but we get really caught up in it that those stories are fact. So I think like when you're talking about like the Bob Heilig and the red light stories and green light stories, and a lot of it is really connecting with your why and your, did I lose you?
I still hear you. I just can't see you.
Okay. How do I get back? Spencer walked outside and it turned on our Ring app.
Oh.
I don't know how to get out of this.
Do you have an iPhone? Yeah, tap the top left.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, it might disappear again because he just walked back in. Like really connecting with your why, because your mind is always going to tell you those things. And I mean, I'm a psychologist and I get caught up in it. And so being able to let go and say, I notice I'm having the thought that, and I notice I'm feeling this, and what action can I take anyway? And so a lot of what you said about really just continuing to take action, even when you don't feel like it, even when a lot of times we wait for the confidence and feeling good about ourselves, and that just isn't there. Like I don't ever have it at 4:45 in the morning, and I make myself do my invites before I push play at 5:20 because I don't think about it. So
good for you. That's early.
It is.
Yeah, it is. It's just taking action even when you don't feel like it, and continuing to take action and reconnecting with that why every single day. Your purpose, like maybe your why in this business is not the same as your purpose, but like your purpose in this business, obviously it's not the same as like the purpose of your life, but they all kind of intertwine. And so anybody else have any thoughts? Anything they want to say? Dan's dealing with both kids upstairs. He's like, you need to come upstairs. I don't want to. It's more fun being with you guys. Okay, well, I'm looking forward to chatting more with some of you about all this stuff, and I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna copy all of your answers and I'm gonna save them. I'm gonna reach out to you. You just wait. If you don't want to talk about it, I'll make you talk about it. Just kidding. But that's the only way we can get past these things, is know it. Like, I loved his reason at like how you can grow these numbers and how you can rate yourself higher is like, just ask yourself why. You know, why is my belief? Like, is it something your mom said to you once, or like a teacher, or like a lot of those things I believe come from your childhood. And if you don't address, it could be one simple thing that someone once said to you, and it like created this story in your mind that you're not good enough, or you're not smart enough, or you will never learn how to do that. You know, like all of those red light stories, those things that we believe about ourselves, they come from somewhere. So, and
we call that programming. So there's an analogy of like a computer screen, and we get all the information like, you're awesome, you're amazing, or you suck, or you're horrible. And so there's a picture of like somebody with their head in the computer screen, and they don't know that it's just their thoughts. But if you can separate from that and watch it go by, then that's where you have more freedom to choose your actions.
Yes, and choose your thoughts, and realize, like, witness those things and witness those thoughts and those stories, realize that they're there, and then dig deeper into changing them. And maybe you need a therapist, maybe not, I don't know. But you can. And that's like one thing she does in You Are a Badass is has you dig deeper into those stories from your past. And I'm sure that there are other personal development books that do that too, but digging deep into those stories and creating affirmations daily. So the more you fill your brain with the good stuff, the more you can shift those thoughts. That's huge. So, all right, I'll be done talking. Let's take a quick picture and then thanks, Kayla, for showing us your face. Were you hiding? No? Okay. All right. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Fun to see you guys. Have a great night.
Can somebody tag me in that picture?
Yep, for sure.
Okay, because now my child just peed all over the floor. So.
I'll send it to you.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks. Have a good night.
Bye.
Thanks, Laura.
Yeah, bye.